You think you are eating potato. In reality, you are being deceived by shape, sound, smell, and color, all at once, on purpose. The potato is one of the strangest products on Earth. It is not a root, not a fruit. It is a modified underground stem, a tuber. The plant deliberately stores starch inside it to survive the winter. We come and take those reserves every year. For 8,000 years in a row, a single potato plant produces between 5 and 20 tubers. But not just any potato will do for crisps. Only varieties with very strict parameters are accepted. Sugar content below 0.1%. Why is this critical? Because when frying, sugar enters that same Maillard reaction, and the crisp goes dark. A potato that is too sweet produces a brown crisp, and a brown crisp is a defect. The customer will not pick it up. This is why crisp manufacturers grow their own potato varieties, specially bred, patented, and unavailable for regular sale. You will never buy this potato in a shop. It exists only for the factory. The tubers arrive at the factory and go into a rotating drum washer. Then, high-pressure steam peeling. No knives, no chemicals. The steam literally rips the skin off in seconds without touching the flesh. It is more precise than any mechanical blade. Slicing. The potato passes through a blade grid at a speed of around 100 kilometers per hour, and in a fraction of a second, it becomes slices exactly 1.1 to 1.5 millimeters thick. A deviation of half a millimeter and the texture of the crisp is already different. Too thin, it will burn. Too thick, it will stay raw inside. Next, sorting by water. The slices float along a channel, and special artificial intelligence cameras analyze every single one in milliseconds. A blemish, a crack, an off color, a blast of air knocks the defective slice out of the flow. The machine sees what the human eye would never catch in time. The slices drop into the oil, 170 to 190 degrees Celsius, and physics begins. Physics that is invisible to the naked eye. Inside every slice, there is water. It instantly starts to evaporate, blasting microscopic channels through the starch. Those channels are the future pores of the crisp. Air will get trapped inside them. They will produce the crunch. The entire crunch structure is formed in the first 3 seconds in the oil. After that, nothing can be changed. And here is what is astonishing. The crunch is an illusion created by the brain. Scientists at Oxford University proved that the exact same crisp is perceived as fresher if the sound of the bite is louder. The industry knows this. The shape, the thickness, the porosity. Everything is engineered so that the sound of a bite hits a specific frequency. It is not the taste that deceives you. It is the sound. A fresh crisp coming out of the oil is almost flavorless. On its own, it is neutral. Everything you taste is applied afterwards. The seasoning is sprayed inside a drum through electrostatic nozzles. The powder particles receive an electric charge and literally cling to the surface, distributing evenly across every square millimeter. This is not simply sprinkling with salt. This is controlled particle deposition, the same principle used in industrial coating. Flavor blends for crisps are a science of their own. The flavor laboratories of major companies spend years developing a single new taste. The goal is to hit what is known as the bliss point, a balance of salt, fat, and umami at which the brain receives no satiety signal. The person eats and cannot stop. This is not a lack of willpower. This is neurochemistry, engineered on purpose. The finished crisps are weighed to within 1 gram and drop into the bag in a fraction of a second. The bag is sealed in a nitrogen atmosphere. The oxygen inside has been almost entirely displaced. This is why the bag looks puffed up. It is not a trick. It is a protective cushion of inert gas. Without it, the crisps would oxidize and go rancid within days. A single crisp manufacturing plant processes up to 500 tons of potato every single day. That is roughly 25 railway freight wagons every day without weekends. The world consumes crisps worth more than $40 billion every year. That is more than the baby food market, more than the coffee market. Humanity spends more on crispy slices of fried starch than on milk for infants. The potato lay in the ground for 90 to 120 days to accumulate its starch. The factory turns it into a crisp in less than 30 minutes, and just a few hours later, it is already in your hands. A simple bag, potato, oil, salt. But behind it stand geneticists, physicists, neuroscientists, engineers, and chemists. No food product in history has been designed so meticulously, with one single goal: to make sure you cannot stop.